Lord. Hello, everybody. What's up? How's it going? How the hell are ya? Nice to have you back again. Welcome back, everybody, to Bombastic Gaming. Gonna be changing it up today. Gonna be playing The Sinking City, an H.P. Lovecraft story. I am very interested in this game. I came across it the other day looking, I was looking for stuff to buy on the PlayStation Store, and it was on sale. And I read the details. I looked up a little bit of reviews. I was gonna say a little bit of review footage. I watched this IGN video basically talking about the gameplay and the basic story, and I am insanely interested in playing this game. The only thing that I'm a little bit nervous about is that apparently it's like, you know, the entire time you're playing you have to be in big brain mode, because it's like that Sherlock Holmes game where you have to piece together the story by yourself, and whether it's right or not, you know, that it doesn't matter. If you piece it together and it's wrong, then that's just how it is. So that's really intimidating. But you know what? Without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Frosty welcome. Dear Mr. Charles Reed, as you requested, I've researched the outbursts of hysteria and visions in the city of Oakmont, Massachusetts. It turns out that your assumptions were correct. Such cases are indeed more frequent here. Men and women from across the country are drawn to Oakmont, haunted by visions similar to yours, a city drowning, the presence of something great yet unknown. As luck has it, I believe we have stumbled upon the source of your ailment, and the person who might help you with it. Prepare yourself, then come to Oakmont as soon as you can. I'll meet you here to help you on your way. Cordially, Johann Vanderberg. Interesting. I like that little part. The presence of something great, yet unknown. I almost wish I had... I don't almost wish. I totally wish I had a Rod Sterling voice. The Twilight Zone. He could totally read the shit out of these messages, probably. Dear Mr. Charles Reed. I can't even do it. Okay, let's see. Oh Lord. Okay, so granted, my knowledge on H.P. Lovecraft and his work is not at all extensive. Jesus Christ, that's cool. But basically the main gist of it that from what I've read and understood is that a lot of it is based around the idea of insanity and cosmic beings. Not just any cosmic beings, but Cthulhu, the ultimate cosmic being. And apparently that's a big factor in this game, is your sanity. Like it is in, I'm pretty sure the Call of Cthulhu video game is, your sanity is a big thing.
Hope I never have to use it, but something tells me I will.
Letter from J. Vanderberg. Okay, that's the one we already read.
Never trust a tourist advertisement.
Now get out!
Okay.
Now get out!
Rude.
At last, Mr. Charles Reed. What a pleasure to finally meet you in the flesh.
Nice to meet you.
Johannes van der Berg, at your service. I did promise to meet you the moment you arrived.
Ah, much obliged, Mr. Vanderberg. I guess I didn't expect you to mean so literally.
These
Please
character
call me
animations remind me a lot of
Johannes.
Fallout.
But where are my manners? Welcome to the proud city of Oakmont. Alas, now is not its finest hour, though it is its most important.
You said you know someone who can help me with my problem. The visions have been getting worse.
Such vividness of dreams is not uncommon here in Oakmont. By chance, the man I spoke of, Robert Throgmorton, is already at the port.
That's
He
quite a
has
name.
dedicated a lot of time and effort to
Throgmorton.
investigate this issue.
I wonder what kind of name that
Alas,
is.
I fear he has a more pressing matter on his hands.
How can I find Mr. Throgmorton?
Don't worry, you can't miss him. Throgmorton tends to stand out from the crowd.
Okay, but what the fuck does that mean?
Can you tell me a little about Mr. Throgmorton?
A remarkable creature, scion of a robust bloodline, a philanthropist, a scholar, and the patron of the famous Oakmont University. A man of great ambitions and even greater ego. Do not make him wait.
I'll need a place to lay my head while I'm here. Any recommendations?
Fear not, I've already feathered a nest for you. There's a room in your name at the Devil's Reef Hotel. Here's the key.
Sounds charming.
Don't judge a book by its cover, Mr. Reed.
What's the best way to get around Oakmont? I'd like to drop my things at the hotel.
Most locals go by foot, or by boat. I've got the latter sorted for you. There's one waiting outside the port.
You're too kind, Johannes. Can you steer me towards the Devil's Reef?
Take this map. I've marked the hotel and a few other key places.
Other places? Like what?
You're a private eye, yes? Well, I've highlighted the police station, city archive, newspaper. Places you'll need to get to the truth. This city is insular, its ways mysterious. No one will take you by the hand, so you better know where to turn in search of a lead.
There we go.
How do you fill your days, Mr. Vanderberg?
I host a philosophy club for the like-minded intelligentsia, gathering seeds of thought, like moths drawn to a flame.
Does Oakmont really have much of a market for philosophy these days?
There is no consciousness without pain, Mr. Reed. No better moment for clarity than times of hardship.
Well, that's it for now, I think. Thanks for helping me get my bearings.
No. The pleasure was mine, Mr. Reed.
Oh, before you go, how can I get in touch with you later?
Don't worry about that. I'm the kind of man who finds you.
That's a strange thing to say, but thanks for the hotel, buddy. Okay, so we gotta go there for the boat. Jeez Louise, this is a pretty big map, isn't it? God damn.
I don't care about your petty excuses.
Oh, is
No
that
one
who he
leaves
was
the
talking
port
about?
until my son is found, and that is final.
Excuse me. Are you Robert Throgmorton?
I am, but not interested. Go away.
The name's Charles Reed. I'm a private investigator, just arrived from Boston. I was told you might be able to help me.
Private investigator, you say? Well, perhaps we can help each other.
If I may ask, what happened to your son?
Why do you care? What's your angle, outsider?
Well, like I said, I'm a PI. Finding people is kind of my specialty.
Is it? Well, Albert was part of a deep-sea expedition I commissioned. This useless fool over here says he found Albert washed ashore in a lifeboat. Says he was barely conscious, out of his mind, talking gibberish in some other language. That he even tried to bite him.
And you don't believe him?
Complete malarkey. I know my Albert. I raised him strong and smart, the best of his kind. It couldn't have been him. Albert's disappearance is the work of Innsmouthers, mark my words.
I've heard you're the man to speak to about visions, outbreaks of hysteria. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it myself.
Another newcomer with another problem. Yes, I know what you speak of.
Can I ask you a few questions?
How dare you? My son Albert is missing, and no one in this Innsmouther-ridden city will do a damn thing. But yes, let's talk about your dreams.
I take it you're not the biggest fan of these Innsmouthers.
Those fish-faced freaks have overrun this city since the police burned Innsmouth to the ground. But now, those filthy migrants occupy half this damn city. The port, Grimhaven Bay, Salvation Harbor, the shells. They are everywhere.
So they're just refugees?
Hardly. They've taken work from the local fishermen. They stir and agitate against us, the Throgmorton family. We are the pillar of this community, not to mention that crime rates have skyrocketed. Simply speaking, they are a big stinking pile of trouble.
Please forgive the question, but I've never met a man quite like you before.
That's because no man measures up to the Throgmorton lineage. Proud and powerful blood flows through our veins. My father united with a certain royal family, which has blessed all our offspring with these exquisite features.
Mr. Throgmorton, let me help you. I'm rather good at tracking down missing people. I'll find Albert.
What makes you think you can do it? Oakmont is not exactly friendly to new arrivals.
Let's just say I tend to see things that others miss. And anyway, what have you got to lose? Sounds like you could use every man you can get.
Vera. You have a point, newcomer.
Sorry, did you just say Vera? What does that mean?
You know,
You
like,
had better
hello,
get
Vera.
used to the Oakmont dialect, outsider. That is, if you want to fit in. It is a fascinating blend. Vera means fine. I was saying, we have a deal.
I see. Thank you. I need to know more about what happened to Albert.
Dane, did you not listen at all? I already told you everything. After leaving on the expedition, Albert was found on the shore in a lifeboat. This fisherman supposedly brought him to their house, and then left to call me. But when I arrived here, my son was nowhere to be seen.
Anything else?
Clearly, something suspicious occurred inside the house. I suggest you stop dawdling and go see for yourself.
Where's the house where this all happened?
For Kay's sake, I thought you were a private eye. We're standing right in front of it.
Yeah, but he just got here, dude, so, like, maybe stop being a douche.
You mentioned a lifeboat. Is it still around?
Shit, right.
Yes. Face the house, then to the left is a beach that borders a fence. You'll find it there.
As much as I'm enjoying the weather, Mr. Throgmorton, it's time for me to get started.
Find my son, newcomer, and be quick about it.
Evidence contains crucial information about what to do and where to go next. To get evidence, interact with objects and people, combine clues in your mind palace, and take photos. A white frame in the camera viewfinder indicates if you are aiming correctly. Read evidence closely to identify important locations, then pin it on the map to plan your route. Pin evidence on the HUD to keep track of your current goal. Press up to toggle on/off. Hold to switch pinned evidence with... blah, blah. You can also place evidence on the map and HUD from the casebook screen. It's complicated.
Don't do anything stupid, newcomer, and keep your hands where I can see them.
Ooh, I love the change of atmosphere.
Huh. This dog mat looks better than the owner's bed. The book is damp and damaged, but clearly well cared for.
Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of books here. So whoever lives here is obviously educated. I hear something.
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
Oh, are you a cop?
It would take tremendous effort to move this thing, let alone tossing it over like this. Hello? Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, my head. What? Who are you? Are you police? I've already told them everything.
It's okay. I'm Charles Reed, Private Eye. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son.
Oh, okay. What do you want?
I want to know what happened here. Every detail.
I don't remember much. Me, Paul, and Lewis, we were here. This is our house. Barry was outside, on his business. Then he came back carrying Throgmorton's son. He was unconscious. Barely breathing. Barry left again to call Mr. Robert.
Then what?
We put the guy in Lewis's room. Then he started to make these horrible sounds and... okay. My head began to burst. And he woke up. And after that, I don't remember a thing. Just dreams. Drowned streets, a sleeping giant, a voice that called me...
That sounds familiar. Tell me about yourself.
Name's Will Hammond. I'm a fisherman. We all are. Live here together. Me, poor fella Paul, Barry, and Innsmouther Lewis Flynn. We moved here after the flood. I worked on the railroad, but the rail ain't kicking anymore, so I started fishing. It was out of starve.
Where are all the other guys?
That's Paul there on the floor. Kay be with him. Barry's outside with Mr. Throgmorton. Lucky rascal missed everything. And I have no idea what Lewis or Throgmorton's son got to. Starting to suspect the worst.
Who is this Kay you keep mentioning?
Outsiders, show some respect. Kay is our lord, our light, our love.
Sorry, I didn't know. Do you know how Paul died?
I don't know. When I pulled myself together, he was already gone. Kay, have mercy on his soul.
I'll leave you to it. Take care of yourself, Will.
Please, detective, sir, tell me the truth. Could it be me? Did I kill Paul? Or, Kay, did I kill him?
I don't know yet, Will. The police will stop anyone coming in or out of here, so I suggest you just try and get some rest.
I'm afraid of what I might dream.
Choo choo. Ahem.
Oh, here we go.
I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp.
Oh, looks like our sanity meter's going down. The mind's eye.
Glenna,
Fuck.
Nechri, Glenna, Gebheil, Nugulina,
Retrocognition. Retrocognition allows you to understand events that happened in the past. Inspect enough evidence on the scene and a vision will emerge. Step into it and find all the critical scenes. Mark the scenes in chronological order to gain new evidence.
Never seen knives like this before. Masterful work. Seems like Prohibition hasn't affected Oakmont too much. So that's what an Innsmouther looks like.
Take this, ape face.
So what, did they all start beating him?
Yeah, run!
What the fuck is going on?
What's happening?
Okay, let's see what we have here.
What's happening?
Take this, ape face. Yeah, run!
When Albert Throgmorton woke up, he was not himself. He attacked the fishermen and his hysteria spread to them. When he got wounded, he fled.
Okay. Investigation of the main case reveals clues for your Mind Palace. Press options to open the casebook, then switch to Mind Palace. Combine pairs of relevant clues to get evidence. Crucial information for the case added to the casebook. Deductions. These explain nuances of the case. They are displayed in the Mind Palace. Some deductions can be interpreted differently. This can lead to different conclusions. Discover all possible conclusions to fully understand the case. But it is up to you how to solve it. Albert Throgmorton was dangerous. Albert Throgmorton was dangerous and posed a threat to Lewis Flynn and his fellow fishermen. Albert spread hysteria around him. Albert Throgmorton spread some sort of psychic influence which made everyone nearby suffer hysteria. I can track down Albert. Albert and the fisherman named Lewis fled the scene after the fight in the house. I can track them using my supernatural sense. Anti-Throgmorton sentiment. As an Innsmouther, Lewis and his people suffered at the hands of the Throgmortons. That could be a reason to hate them. Mind's eye can reveal omens that guide your way. Follow them to find new evidence. This is definitely interesting.
5 cards short of a full house. I'm surprised they don't have someone's portrait here.
My head! I still hear those voices.
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
There's another one. This is so odd. Am I going the wrong way? It's really bringing down my sanity, isn't it?
So the fisherman pursued Albert, even let off a few shots. Even though Albert was wounded, he managed to climb that high. Robert wasn't exaggerating when he said he raised him strong. Even though Albert was wounded, he managed to climb that high. Robert wasn't exaggerating when he said he raised him strong.
I love the sound design in this game.
There's something in the pocket.
Bloodstained note. Lewis, please, just give me one more week. I know I owe you, but I'm underwater like everyone else right now. I don't yet have enough stock to operate the bar smoothly with the fuzz snooping around the port. But don't worry, I've struck a nice deal with the proper people and should have a steady supply channel soon. Just one more week and I'll return everything with double interest.
The blood is fresh. Whomever it belongs to could not have got far.
Now that's creepy. padlocks. Padlocks and weak planks can be broken with a shot or a melee attack. Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus.
One fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate.
Albert. Oh my God, that's Albert. Lewis may have wanted Albert dead. Lewis may have wanted to kill Albert outright because he was a Throgmorton, rather than just drive him off. Lewis may be at the bar. Lewis, the Innsmouther that killed Albert Throgmorton, may be hiding at the bar in Oakmont Port. Oh, Jesus. What the fuck is that thing? Is it dead? I guess so.
Oh, yeah. Hey, got a spare bullet, fella? I ain't eaten in days.
Jesus Christ. Oh, that's...
Stay alert. Monsters lurk underground. They're everywhere.
Ugh, I'll miss the carpenter's food giveaway with this darn port closure.
Don't do that again. Welcome to Under the Keel. What do you want?
I'm looking for a man by the name of Lewis Flynn. Any chance he's here?
Yeah. Even if I knew, I don't rat to newcomers.
As it happens, I know you owe a debt to Mr. Flynn. Trouble is, I found your note near the dead body of Albert Throgmorton, son of Robert. So, it seems Lewis is in trouble. Might have even come here to hide. But you hand him over and he won't be back to collect what you owe. Get me?
Throck. That would explain the blood. Fine. If it gets me out of this mess, you can have him.
So?
He's upstairs. Here's the key. You gotta promise to deal with him once and for all. But save the shooting for outside, huh?
Smart man. There's your good deed for the day. I've seen some unsettling creatures around, like nothing I've ever encountered. What are they?
So you met a wild beast, newcomer. No one knows what they are, but consider yourself lucky to still be in one piece. They arrived in the flood. Some say they come from the sea. Others that they are Kay's punishment for us.
And what do you say?
If it bleeds, you can kill it. Keep your gun handy.
Nice
and if
Predator
you want to erase
reference.
the memory, I sell a perfect cure right here. Remember, better to be a coward and live than brave and dead. Unless you're a newcomer.
Bye.
Bye.
Come. Come closer, troubled soul. Let me tell you what your future holds.
You're some kind of, fortune teller?
Yes, my dear, yes. Oh, it's so clear. Your path holds many surprises, newcomer.
Really? Like what?
Not so fast, newcomer. I see many things. For a small fee, I'll tell you some of them.
All right, how much? $1?
Your money has no value here, newcomer. After the flood, Oakmonters deal in the practical. Booze, smokes, and bullets. And I'll make it easier
Also, he
for
was
you.
literal about the
I
bullet.
don't smoke.
Some other time.
As you wish.
Yeah, I'm kind of low on bullets right now. And with those wild beasts running around, I think I'm gonna need them.
What the? Get them! Oh!
Okay.
Hey, who are you? What are you doing?
Charles Reed, private investigator. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son Albert, so I think you know why I'm here.
Throg. That darn bartender. It was all that crazy ape's fault. You hear me?
Calm down. I only want to speak, for now. But no, if you reach for your gun, you'll hit the floor faster than you can say poetic justice.
I got nothing to hide.
Start at the beginning. What happened?
We were in our house, me, Paul, and Will. Barry'd gone to the sea. Though I told him that it would only bring bad luck. If he'd listened to me, we'd all still be alive.
Come on, Lewis. Focus.
Right. Well, Barry dragged that damn ape to our house. He was bragging about how much Mr. Throgmorton would give us for saving his son. But that ape, he was out cold. Then woke in an instant and started screaming, attacking us. After that, can't remember a thing.
You shot to kill. No warning, no second chances. You pursued Albert even after he fled. Why?
I can't remember it. When he woke, it was like a bloody mist descended over me. First thing I recall after is that darn warehouse and me covered in blood. I had no idea what happened, though. I suspected it had something to do with that ape. Turns out, I was right.
The things you did to Albert don't look like a bloody rage. A fatal shot to the head, a hidden body. One might start to wonder if it was deliberate.
I don't know what to say. I wasn't myself.
I hear there's a bit of a feud between the Innsmouthers and the Throgmortons. Care to fill me in?
Those apes hated us from the moment we arrived in Oakmont. Our home was destroyed. We just needed a place to stay. The Blackwood Grand family sheltered us, but others were not as hospitable. We needed jobs, food, and medicine. The city denied it all.
And so?
We had to fight for every crumb of bread. And those Throgmortons in their high castle only made our life harder, always conspiring behind our backs, always setting people against us. I'd love to see them suffer like we suffered.
You mentioned a grand family. What do you mean?
So you're a newcomer, huh? Explains a lot.
Yeah, a newcomer with a gun. Answer the question.
Okay. People here are crazy about bloodlines and tradition and reputation. The head honchos of Oakmont are called the Grand Families. There's the Carpenters, who control most of the city's underworld, the Blackwoods, who share kin with Innsmouthers through the Marsh family.
And let me guess, the Throgmortons.
Right, those filthy apes. Now that most of the Blackwoods are gone, there's nobody left to protect us Innsmouthers.
What kind of... why do you... your face, it's,
Oh, so you're here to attack me just 'cause I look different to you? Wanna spit on me, whisper to your friends? What's new?
no, I'm sorry. I didn't know how to ask. I've just never met someone like you before. I didn't mean any offense.
Innsmouther's bodies were blessed by the sea. You're gonna see a lot of us here, so you better get over it. We are proud of who we are.
I think I've got all I need.
Please, Mr. Reed, don't tell Throgmorton about me. I know I'm in no position to ask. I didn't want to do whatever it is I did. Honest, have mercy, please. I have a family. Without me, they'll starve.
This is not exactly cut and dry. I need some time to think.
Perhaps I can offer something to grease your grinds. I still have a few bullets on me.
It turns out I arrived here unprepared for business. You give me a little something to get started, and my lips are sealed.
I knew you'd understand. Here you are, Mr. Reed.
Lewis was aware of his actions. Lewis was aware of what he was doing during the fight with Albert Throgmorton, or Lewis was mentally affected and couldn't entirely control his actions. I'm going to say couldn't entirely, just because, yes, there is an obvious prejudice between the two. I mean, for one, he keeps calling him an ape, you know, so there's obvious, like, racism there. But also, everybody that was near Albert was affected, and they all started getting violent. So, the fact that Lewis was following Albert could have meant that he was still under the influence of the hysteria. So, I'm going to say mentally affected. Lewis was under mental influence. Lewis killed Albert Throgmorton while under some sort of mental influence. He couldn't control his actions and thus can't be blamed for Albert's death. I could try and cover for him, or else Robert Throgmorton will have his head. What does that mean, key evidence collected? Does that mean that there's more evidence? I guess I could do another once over.
It would take tremendous effort to move this thing, let alone tossing it over like this. There was a fierce fight here, but someone tried to flee.
Nice.
Where's your Oberon, huh, Titania?
Albert Throgmorton's will. I hope someone finds this. My name is Albert Throgmorton, and this is my will. I want to warn you. Don't go to the depths below Oakmont. There's unreadable. And we should have never done that. Everything should have remained in that cave. Professor Unreadable. I fear what will become of me. It's singing in my brain, dancing on my eyelids every time I close my eyes. Unreadable. The cycle goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. In the end it comes. I must warn everyone. I must tell my father. Unreadable. He's here. Ah, I love this.
Something with this helmet gives me chills. What's wrong with it? Mr. Throgmorton, I'm afraid I have bad news.
No.
Yeah, I found your son in the basement of a nearby warehouse. I'm sorry, but he was murdered. Shot in the head and the body hidden.
No. It cannot be true. No, no, no. I don't believe it. No.
I've tracked down your son's murderer.
Where? Who is he?
I tracked the murderer down, but he was attacked by those things prowling the back alleys. They tore him apart. It was that Innsmouther fisherman, Lewis. He was covered in your son's blood. That may have attracted the beasts.
Wait, so
Are
you
you
still
certain
told
the
him?
body is his?
Beyond any doubt. All that's left of him is a heap of flesh and this scrap of cloth. It's from his jacket. His desk is friends.
That doesn't make any sense.
This was my revenge to exact, not some wild beasts. Something must be done about those pests. Still, justice has been served. This isn't closure, but at least I know now the story. Thank you.
Mr. Throgmorton, I hate to press you, but do you think you could help me now?
Yes, you've earned it. Gay to think a newcomer barely off the boat solves a crime the police couldn't, but I digress. Remind me, what brought you to Oakmont?
That confuses me because the guy didn't want me to tell Throgmorton that it was him. So I lied, but still told him that it was him. He's still alive, and he's still gonna be moving around in that area, so isn't Throgmorton going to figure it out at some point? That, I don't know, that's beyond me.
I think I'm going mad, Mr. Throgmorton. I see things, visions, and I need it to stop. I was drawn here, or guided, or I don't know. But I believe the source of this madness is here, in Oakmont.
You're not wrong, Mr. Reed. An inexplicable hysteria spread through Oakmont after the flood. I funded an expedition to explore recent geological activity that may be responsible.
A geological expedition? I'm not sure I follow.
I have reason to believe the flood and this madness have the same source. As above, so below. So I sent men to find out.
Has your expedition found anything?
I do not know. Albert was part of it. His passing cannot be coincidence. Why was he alone at the port? And where are the others?
You think your son was killed because the expedition uncovered something?
Is it so hard to believe? I had no news for a week, then Albert, the only one I could trust, comes ashore and is killed.
It does sound suspicious.
Mr. Reed, I want you to find out what's going on. I expect you're as interested in the expedition's results as I am.
If I'm going to look into this, I'll need to know more. Where should I start?
I'll give you the address of the expedition's headquarters and a key.
That's all you can tell me?
Let me be clear, Reed. You do not speak to me like that again.
I'm sorry, Mr. Throckmorton. I just meant the more I know, the better.
I am a busy man. I funded the research, but left all preparations to Professor Doe and Albert. When you've finished, come see me at the Throgmorton family manor. It's in Old Grove. Here, I'll show you.
What about my expenses?
They will be reimbursed after you complete your task. And of course, you've earned some compensation for your work here at the port. I'll also include a fair advance in bullets.
Bullets?
The dollar lost its use here, Mr. Reed. After the flood, Oakmont returned to bartering. Bullets mean more than bills.
The Lost Expedition. Robert Throgmorton funded an expedition to discover the origin of the mass hysteria gripping Oakmont. The expedition was to explore the seabed near Oakmont. Contact with the expedition was soon lost. Albert Throgmorton was the only known survivor. He was subsequently murdered. I was hired to find any other expedition members, dead or alive. Throgmorton will be waiting for my report in his manor in southern Old Grove. Alright, well, unfortunately, folks, that is going to be all the time we have for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying the game, because I'm definitely enjoying playing it. I'm in love with this game so far. I love the elements of piecing together the case. It's so cool. It reminds me of LA Noire, but it's like, it's more in-depth. And I like that you have to be the one that comes up with the outcome. It's amazing. I love it. Anyway, thank you guys again. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, whatever you feel like doing, just do you. Have a good day / night, whatever time of day it is for you. And as always, I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Alright then. Goodbye.